Hi aviation lovers! My name is Irina, you're on the Just Dream Ginger channel, where we explore the sky, share aviation insights, and dive deep into the reality of cabin crew life. Today we're talking about the Gulf Air, the national carrier of Bahrain. It might be not that popular as Emirates or Qatar, but obviously this airline has a lot of good sides, and I'll tell you all about it. What it really takes to become a Gulf Air cabin crew, what are the benefits and downsides of this airline and this job, the salary, and all the things you want to know. So as always, if you're ready, fasten your seatbelt because we are flying right into it. As many of you know, I used to work as an Emirates flight attendant, but recently I received many comments about other airlines, benefits, downsides, salary expectation, requirements. So I decided to make the series of video where I'm explaining how to land your dream job and saying what you should expect from different airlines. And today we're zooming on the Bahrain national carrier Gulf Air, and I think this airline is quite underrated and there are not that many information across the internet about it. Today we're using the official information from its official website and as well the insider information from my friend Katerina, who used to work there as a flight attendant, so I do have an insider look. I will leave the link to Katerina's Instagram in the description to this video, so if you want to ask her something specific, I think she's more than happy to answer them. But we're gonna start this video with a brief history of the airline. Gulf Air was founded in 1950, originally launched as Gulf Aviation to serve regional routes in the Persian Gulf. It later became the national carrier of Bahrain and one of the first airlines to connect the Middle East with the rest of the world. Over the years, Gulf Air has evolved into a boutique-style airline known for its Arabian hospitality and more personal touch compared to mega Gulf carriers. Today, Gulf Air operates a modern fleet of 42 aircraft, including Airbus A320, A321, and Boeing 787 Dreamliner. From its hub at Bahrain International Airport, the airline serves around 55 destinations across the Middle East, Asia, Africa, and Europe. While it doesn't aim for luxury overload, it's respected for offering a reliable and warm flying experience, both for passengers and crew. Here on the screen you can see the requirements of becoming Gulf Air cabin crew, and they're quite similar to other Middle East airlines, but if you're a short queen, this one is for you because the minimum height requirement is slightly lower than other Middle East airline, and it is no less than 158 centimeters. But I was told by my friend that they do actually check your swimming skills. They can check that. For example, on the second day of the assessment day for my friends, they asked them to swim in the swimming pool. So they really wanted to check that you know how to swim and not just check these requirements in your application. So if you don't know how to swim, or you can swim only with a life jacket, maybe this one is not for you. Even if they changed this requirement recently and they don't check the swimming skills in every airlines, it still might happen. So if you're applying for the Gulf Air, make sure that you know how to swim. Because for example, Emirates also ask you this question and they want you to know how to swim, but they don't have this assessment. And in training college, when you have like a swimming pool ditching assessment exercise, you're swimming in the life jacket. But Gulf Air can check it, so it's better to know about it. Now let's talk about the salary because it matters. So your average entry-level position starting salary will be $2,380 per month, and it includes everything except of your layover allowances. And there is one trick: Gulf Air pay you slightly different than other Middle East airlines. For example, on Emirates or Qatar, your layover allowance depends on the destination you are flying to. If it's something more expensive like Switzerland, your layover allowance will be higher than Sri Lanka, for example, but Gulf Air calculated slightly different. But there also like a small advantage of it. They calculate your salary from the time you check in for your duty until the time you sign off from your duty. So they pay you for the time away from base, which is similar to the concept of per diems with other European or US airlines. They have like a more similar concept when they pay you for the time away from base and not for the allowance on layover, depends on the country you're going to. But the good thing that you're gonna be paid for everything, for briefing, pre-flight duties, in-flight duties, post-flight duties, which is pretty good because Emirates cabin crew, for example, they are not getting paid for pre-departure or post-landing duties, but Gulf Air crew, they do. That's good. And now let's move to the perks of this airline. First of all, I want to talk about the free accommodation and laundry. Yes, most of the Middle East airlines provide you with accommodation free of charge and utilities included, and they are usually for 2 to 3 person. Gulf Air provides you with accommodation for 2 people, so you're gonna have one roommate. Not roommate, but flatmate, because you're gonna have your own room and a bathroom. That's a good thing because, for example, on other airlines you can have 2 flatmates, and sometimes it's not that easy to find a common language with your flatmate, especially if you're coming from absolutely different backgrounds. So that's a good thing that you have just one flatmate. As well, your accommodation, for example on Emirates, really depends on your luck. You could live in a city center in an amazing new accommodation, or you could live in the middle of nowhere because their level are so different. I have a video about Emirates cabin crew accommodation, so you can check it. But with the Gulf Air, because the airline way more smaller, you gonna be in the equal accommodation, so that's a good thing, I believe. They also have quite a good medical and dental care, so you don't need to worry about your health either when you're in Bahrain or when you're flying around the world. One of the advantages that I want to mention is a fast upgrade, and you can upgrade from economy class to business class in Gulf Air within a year and a half, and yes, that's a fast upgrade if we're talking about Middle East airlines. For example, I was waiting for my upgrade in Emirates for 3 years, and I had excellent performance and clean profile, because it doesn't matter how good you are, if they don't require as many people in premium cabin, they're not gonna upgrade you. But Gulf Air is slightly smaller airlines, and quite many people decide to move to other bigger airlines, so I think you could get upgrade faster there, and also Katerina told me that. Of course, you can get an amazing discounts with mother airline, which is Gulf Air, and with other airlines worldwide, so you can travel on your days off and your vacation, which is the perks of this job in general. But also I think the location of the Bahrain is quite good to travel anywhere, either it's Asia, Europe or US. And of course, long layovers. For example, if we are talking about huge Middle East airlines, layovers quite often are kind of short, even in ultra-long flights. It could be 24 hours for the US, where you're flying 14 hours just one way. For the Gulf Air, yes, they have fewer destinations, but some of their layovers are quite long. It could be 48 to 72 hours in a destination, and for me it's like a mini vacation, so you can really enjoy and explore the place, which is amazing. You can also gonna receive the different perks in Bahrain, like free access to gyms or beach clubs, as well as discounts in local shops and cafes. And of course, my favorite one is the stress-free environment, because this company is way more chill than others, and you can feel the pressure on you when you're working for huge Middle East airlines. But if you're gonna compare it to Bahrain, atmosphere there is way more better, and you feel more as a human being and not as just a staff number. And when we're talking about the positives of being a Gulf Air cabin crew, we need to talk about the challenges that you might face. First of all, fewer layover destinations. That's actually was one of the main reasons why my friend decided to resign from Gulf Air and join Emirates. We were batchmates, by the way. My friend told me that after 2 years with Gulf Air, she explored all its layover destinations. She's been to all of them more than once, and she really wanted to travel the world as a cabin crew, not only on her vacation or days off. That's why she joined Emirates, and after 5 years with Emirates, she haven't visited all of them. So that speaks. Gulf Air network has some layovers, but most of the flights are turnaround. They are way shorter, so you can explore that many places as a flight attendant as with other Middle East airlines. So if you're joining just to travel the world, it's one of the options, but it's definitely not the best if your only goal is to travel the world as a flight attendant. Salary and simplified allowance structure could also be one of the disadvantages of this job. I'm saying that because the salaries that Gulf Air provide is quite good compared to other airlines worldwide in general, but if you're gonna compare it to other Middle East salaries, the salary of Gulf Air cabin crew is slightly lower than others, so it also could be a downside. And that simplified allowance structure, you could get way more money if you are bidding for high allowance destination with Emirates, but with Gulf Air it's not gonna happen because you're getting the same pay. It doesn't matter where you go in, so it also could be a downside if your goal is to make as much money as you can. Share accommodation of the Middle East airlines could be an advantage because you don't pay for it and all utilities are included, but if you're not in a good relationship with your flatmate, it could be a downside. And I even know the people who resigned just because they didn't get along with their roommates and they couldn't move to another accommodation. So you need to keep it in mind that it also could be a challenge to you. And let's be honest, a lot of people never heard about the Gulf Air Airlines. Yes, it's a big airline in the Middle East, but it's not as prestigious as other Middle East airlines that's always on the news like Emirates. So a lot of people decide to resign and join bigger airlines, not only for the salary and travels itself, but also just to be a part of that famous international team. So for someone, that could be a downside as well. So what's my final verdict? Is it worth join Gulf Air airline as a flight attendant? Yes, I believe it is, especially if you're not ready to step into this high stress environment of other huge famous Middle East airlines, because Gulf Air is a way smaller airline and they do actually respect more of their employees, and the environment itself is less stressful, so that's a good starting point. As well, you're getting all those perks of working for Middle East airlines, like free accommodation, utilities included, discounted ticket. Yes, salary is slightly lower if we compare it to other airlines, but maybe it's gonna be enough for you. If you want to travel the world only as a cabin crew, you don't want to spend your money on your vacation to go somewhere else, then maybe it's not the best choice. They do have layovers, nice one, but fewer destinations. So as always, that's for you to decide if you want to join this airline. Don't forget to write in the comments your question about Gulf Air. Don't forget to write your opinion about this video because I read them all and that matters for me. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel if you enjoy my content, because it gives motivation to do more of such videos, and I believe I see you soon. Bye!